What's up, guys? I'm going to be doing a quick how-to, I don't know why I keep saying how-to, but care video on leopard geckos. So, it's going to be a two-part. The first part, I'm just going to go over pretty much the care for them. And then the second part is going to be mostly about their feeding and their nutritional supplements and stuff like that. So, in the first part, we're going to talk about their caging, their substrate, their heating and lighting, temperatures, hides, all that good stuff. So, ignore the 16-quart tubs. I'm going to be talking about actual aquariums and stuff, but the setup is still the same. As far as caging size goes, babies, I suggest putting them in a 10-gallon, and then juveniles to adults, put them in a 20-gallon long. Only reason I say that is because a baby might get freaked out with how much space is actually in the 20-gallon. And it might stress them out a little bit, and they probably won't eat. Juveniles to adult, you can put them in a 20-gallon. They should be fine. Just check up on them, make sure they're eating. For the substrate for your enclosure, I use unprinted newspaper. But you can use anything from unprinted newspaper to regular newspaper to paper towels to tiles to Repta carpet. Tiles is probably your best bet. It's actually surprisingly cheaper than buying Repta carpet, and it's easily cleanable. What I don't suggest using is any type of sand. Sand is a no-go. It's even the calcium sand, even play sand, fine particle sand. People that say if a kid can digest play sand, well, reptiles can too. I don't know who compared humans to reptiles, but that is ridiculous. Don't use sand. I understand it looks good. Don't use it. If you really want to know what these guys are on, like their actual natural habitat, just look up Afghanistan, Iran, and Pakistan. I don't know who makes it, but there's called excavator clay, and you mix it with water, and then you can form it and make hides out of it and stuff. If you want something natural looking, go with that, because it's not a particle. It's literally turns into a hard clay. It's natural looking, but it's a pain in the butt to clean when it's time for cleaning. Heating and lighting. To heat these guys, I would use an under the tank heater. I'm not even going to tell you about lights. I dislike them. I like belly heat. It helps with digestion. The thing with under tank heaters is they heat up. I think my Zoom Edge says it goes up to 130 if it's not regulated right. You don't need a herb-stat like I have. Amazon, you can buy these hydroforms for, I think it was $30, and they work fine for me. My ball python's running off of that one. If you're going to use a light, use a red bulb, just because a lot of domes now that you can buy the fixtures, they have a dimmer on them that you can increase the brightness and decrease it to try and get your right temperature in there on the hot side. But then again, you can leave it on at night because it's viewable, because they are nocturnal. With heating and lighting, you want your temperatures, no matter what you're using, whether it's a light or under a tank heater. You want your hot side temperature, which is the cool side. The hot side's on the other end. You want that 85 to 90 degrees. You want your cool side about 10 degrees cooler than what your hot side is. Right now, my hot side, my reading, if I can read that right, it's about 88.5, and my cool side is 80.6. Now that's on the bottom shelf. This side is a little hotter. On the hot side, heat rises. So once again, 85 to 90 degrees. Ambient air is above 75. 80 is a good number. As far as hides go, you're going to want at least a minimum of 2. You can go with 3. Your moist hide or your humid hide, all it's going to consist of is, and that is my Blazing Blizzard Het Raptor. It's just a Tupperware container. I use a soldering iron to solder a hole in it, and then put paper towels, vermiculite, moss. You spray it down, and just because of the heat, it will make it nice and humid, and it will help them shade. My adults don't have cool side hides because they will actually go on this, like right in between their cups, and hide. My babies do have a cool side hide. You can also add a hide in the middle, just for decoration or exercise for them, something to climb on, or they might even use it, or they might figure they might want to poop there. My Bell Albino, when I had him in a tank, he used his middle height to poop. Now, as far as feeding of vitamins go, I'm briefly going to touch this on part 1. Part 2 is going to go more in depth about it. For feeding, you can feed them crickets, worms, dubia roaches. Pinkies is really a tough subject. I'm not going to touch on it. If you want to do research, do your research. I'll tell you, don't do it. And then, as far as vitamins go, they need calcium and D3. This is Reptical. This is a calcium supplement with vitamin D3. That's their multivitamin. So, pretty much, that is a simple care video. Everything else, as far as your setup and everything, I did a video. Just check that out. It's the same setup. All your hides, your water dishes, your mealworm dishes, and your thermometers and stuff. Alright guys, if you have any questions, or if I left something out, just add it. Do apologize, I'm just kind of winging this right now. Part 2, watch it, it's on feeding.